What's up, YouTube? This is LA Prepper. You have about 15 minutes to catch me before I drive into the work parking lot. I was just contemplating why computers make you press buttons unnecessarily, or rather, why programmers make you press buttons. So, when you go live on StreamYard, you go to the website and it's like the broadcast studio, which is cool, and then you click where you want to broadcast to, which is actually also cool. So if you have, 5 different channels, um, buddy, you could at least fucking signal. Of course, I'm signaling for the wrong street. Um, but then you hit go live, and then you get another message that says like ready to go live. It's like I just hit go live. Why are you asking me? Anyways, not in grumpy mood or God, that there is this house on this street where I live, and I guess there's always that one house, right? Their front yard is absolutely full of trash. Now, not like garbage bags of trash, but more like kids' toys, old chairs, kind of like hoarding trash. Like stuff that's not really getting used, but they just I would guess I would call it hoarding trash more so than like too lazy to pick up your front yard trash because I know what that trash looks like and it's a little bit different. Um, but yeah, man, the amount of trash, physical trash, not talking about trashy people. There's plenty of trash people in LA, but actual normal trash that I see on a regular basis almost makes me want to become a goddamn garbage man. I'm not like a garbage man, and definitely I don't want to be playing in homeless people trash all day, but I tell you, if I could invent a robot that could grab some shit off the sidewalk and put it in a truck, I'd probably be a millionaire, probably a multimillionaire. And the funny thing is, I don't even need to invent the robot. The robots already exist. Fanuc, I work with robots at work, on and off. In fact, I screwed up, I fucking screwed up something at work yesterday, literally by hitting a button. And it wasn't like anybody that hit the button would have had the thing happen to them. Probably it just happened to be me. I was just like, you got to be kidding me. This is what I get. Um, but yeah, like major industrial robot companies like Mitsubishi, Fanuc, a few other ones, they're out there, right? So you get the robot, you can the mechanical aspect is not super tricky, although grasping things can be a little tricky. So it'd be sort of like that game at the arcade with the claw that drops down and picks up stuff. So you'd want some sort of a grabby claw or hand, probably 4 claws that all close in would be good enough for like boxes, garbage bags, shirts, furniture. Now, how to grab something gets to be a little tricky, right? So if you try to grab, let's say, one of those big, I don't know how to describe them, like those big plastic bowls. It's not a bowl, but it's like a tote, like a large plastic tote. Say you might keep a bunch of kids' toys in. They used to have like rope handles on either side. So it's easy to grab that from the lid, but it's actually hard to grab that from the other side. You kind of grab it, you'd have to sort of pinch it from each side, which is sort of a two-handed thing, or you have to turn it over and grab it from one of the lips. And vision is really tricky. I mean, anybody can put a camera on a robot, right? That's not the hard part. The hard part comes in interpreting the data that the camera sees. That's where the tricky stuff comes in. Are you going to LiDAR 3D map the trash? And then if it can't pick up the trash, are you going to tell the robot to try to rotate the trash or move the trash one way and get a different LiDAR map of it? And in theory, you could probably design shapes that the robot would have a high confidence it could grab. For example, if the shape that you're 3D mapping is larger than the claw can open, you probably wouldn't want to have the computer try to grab that. Although, imagine a blanket on the ground, the camera sees a blanket and it says, oh, that's bigger than the claw, I can't grab that, when in reality, there's a decent chance that if the claw drops on it and closes the grippers, that it would be able to pick up the blanket. So you can see even something as simple as like a cardboard box, a blanket, and a large plastic tote get to be really challenging when you're talking about trying to program a robot to pick that stuff up. Now, maybe full automation isn't really the right way to go, right? So garbage trucks have the robot arms that pick up the trash and dump them in the back of the truck, but automated driving hasn't really taken off yet. I absolutely expect at some point garbage trucks will be fully automated, because as soon as, not even as soon as they're safe, as soon as the company feels like the risk is worth the reward, they'll do it. Because a company like that is going to have some contingency plan for a truck hitting something, right? I don't know what Tesla's contingency plan is. You know, Tesla right now has been sort of handling the autopilot crashes case by case, and I'm sure everybody's signing a non-disclosure agreement. Nobody's talking about it, right? You know, we'll give you $1 million, but if you ever breach contract, you know, you're done. You definitely, I would not recommend anyone breaching an NDA, at least not with a very large company that's paid you a lot of money. Billy Bird, yeah, you know, it's my own fault, Billy Bird, because I don't make videos in the way that's really effective to grow my channel. I'm sporadic. I talk about all sorts of different random topics. My production value is super low. I'm in my car 90% of the time. But there's definitely plenty of role models out there for me to follow. I'm actually trying to get the bike going because I was hoping that the motorcycle would be a source of some amount of entertainment, at least in the video sense. But I'm talking about using robots to help pick up trash in the city, or really anywhere, and how automation is our future, but also it's not as easy as people think it is. I don't know if people think it's easy or not, but I assure you automating things is not easy. It can be made easier. It can be made, for example, the Baxter robot, which is an invention so simple that any moron could have figured it out, but of course, it's not how it works, right? But the Baxter robot is this sort of torso of a robot that can twist. Imagine a robotic torso with arms. Oh, I'm sure you're going to give it to me on this robot stuff, Uncle Al. And it has this stupid little screen face, which is kind of stupid, but the screen actually serves a purpose on the robot. The big breakthrough in the Baxter robot is that you don't have to be a programmer to program this robot. Man, I'm starving. I had too much. I'm just too heavy right now. My stomach is too big. But so to program most robots, you have to be a programmer and say, go here, look for this, do this, follow this command. Thousands, tens of thousands of lines of code, maybe even millions of lines of code for more complicated robots, although hopefully not. The Baxter robot has sort of a semi-automatic programming feature where, let's say you want the robot to do a job where it picks up a small widget from one conveyor belt and it puts it into a box. Now it has some vision programmed and it has some packing and placing stuff programmed. So it's not like you have to tell it where every location on the box is. At least I don't think so. Maybe you do, but only once. But anyways, so the user goes up and says, you know, start new program or whatever. And then you program where it's going to pick. Well, actually, I think you program what the item looks like first, right? So you hold the item in front of the camera, you rotate it around, and the camera scans it. Technology is pretty crazy these days. You can actually use stereo photography to create a 3D image of something. So you could take a bunch of 2D photos and create a 3D model. Now it's not quite as accurate as actually 3D scanning something, but it's surprisingly accurate for most rudimentary 3D mapping requirements. And if you're just picking up a cup from a conveyor belt, you don't have to have a, you know, 1,000,000-point model of the cup. You can have a 100-point model of the cup. And as long as there's nothing else that looks like a cup coming down the line, you're probably fine. And even if there is, you're still probably fine. So the user takes the arm, programs what the cup looks like or the widget, and then tells the robot where it's going to look for this cup. And it says, okay, you're going to look for the cup in this area. You're going to take the cup. You're going to grab it gently. You could probably adjust the force and all that. Don't stop telling me what to eat, Uncle Al. I don't eat. I'm allowed to eat fast food. It's hard to cook. You don't have enough cooking implements. You've made your point about the fast food. I don't need to hear it every day. But anyways, see, why can't you be more supportive like Billy, Uncle Al, and encourage me to get In-N-Out, high quality 100% beef burger made by patriotic Americans trying to support themselves in these difficult times. I love supporting In-N-Out. They are phenomenal business. They treat their employees well. They serve an excellent product very quickly for a very moderate price. It's like a business model that doesn't even exist in this world. We pay our employees fairly. We treat our customers with respect. We have a very high quality product. How many people say that? I mean, how many companies can really say that? Maybe you have a high quality product, but you treat your customers like crap. Or maybe you can crank out a lot of your product like McDonald's, but your product is crap. But high quality, good value, and excellent customer service, man, In-N-Out is a model business. But yeah, the robot stuff. So I think we're going to see a lot of automation. Well, of course we are seeing it, but we're going to continue to see it grow. One thing that was really interesting to me in college was robots in agriculture. So for example, teaching robots to pick an apple or an orange or a strawberry. And it's really interesting because some plants, you might not want to pick everything that you can see. Maybe you only want to pull a certain. Jesus fucking Christ, people, do we have to drive around this corner at 5 miles an hour? Like you've never driven around a corner in your entire life. Sorry, but like people just. The dumbest things cause people in LA the biggest problems on the road. It just boggles my mind. Oh, and being hungry is not helping. But thank God it's Friday. They asked me to come in. I am not coming in. I'm coming in next weekend. Have to come in next weekend. Tell me, Uncle Al, how am I going to escape from the city? How am I going to escape? I don't have a job in the country. I mean, I'm sure I could get a job somewhere out in the country. I might be moving to Texas in a couple years. I'm not really sure, but man, there's a lot of traffic today. But yeah, so I might be moving to Texas, which is still, and I'm sure the Texans would love it if they knew that. The thing I don't get about Texas is, or this whole like Californians moving out of California, I think it's sort of a large misconception that people that move out of California want to take California with them. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I'm sure it's true for some percentage of people, but I think a lot of people that want to leave California don't want to take California with them, which is why they're leaving California. If you really love everything about California, you're going to stay. You're not going to move to Texas and say, well, I love California, but I get like maybe if your work just demands that you go there. Sorry. Some street. Oh, I think there's a. There might be some kind of conference or something, not conference, but like ride today. Because I remember in Oakland a couple years ago, there was a bunch of dirt bikes and ATVs on the street ripping it up. But yeah, I just saw a dirt bike and an ATV drive up the street, which of course is totally illegal. And it would be fascinating to get a drone and follow them, because if they ever catch any police interest, they're going to ditch the police and they're probably going to win unless the police get the helicopter. I mean, I don't know. There's not that many side streets in LA. Like, I would be very impressed. Like, you could ditch a single cop car on a dirt bike or an ATV, cut through some walkway, cut a couple streets over, and by the time you're a few blocks away, there's like barely any chance that they're ever going to find you. Not that I know anything about that sort of thing. But with all the different units, in law enforcement, even given cuts, oh, Jesus Christ. I don't see that happening. Well, we're at work, and I know this live stream hasn't been very topical or made a lot of sense, but yeah, the police drones are coming, Uncle Al. I don't doubt it. Or they're already here. Who knows, you know? But Uncle Al, good. I like those food videos you're doing. Really good stuff about the types of dry food, compositions, being able to process the food. I'll have to put some kind of grain processing stuff on my wish list, or like stuff that I want to get for myself long term. Good comments about the rolled versus non-rolled oats. I always kind of wondered. I thought rolled oats were just supposed to cook easier, but I didn't realize it had to do with, like, maybe digestion and that sort of thing. But yeah, an oat berry, I guess you call them, is definitely not something I don't think you can just like boil and turns into oatmeal. You have to process that stuff. I obviously know an embarrassingly small amount about processing food in general, but that's kind of the pro and con of living near grocery stores everywhere and fast food places, is that you don't have to know how to cook. I mean, the last couple years, I've cooked so little, it's a crime. It's really horrific how little I've cooked. But no time to cry about that. Gonna go grab some probably food truck food at work. What is it gonna be today? Hamburgers, Philly cheesesteaks, tacos, more hamburgers. Who knows, right? Only the best food for my temple or my body. All right, don't forget the badge, because every time I go into work without scanning to get into the garage, I always forget my badge, and it's super annoying. What's up, Rachel? Anyways, time to pretend. Time to pretend I'm a professional and head into work and try not to stumble over my own words and make an ass of myself. I have this new rule on Friday that's send as few emails as possible. LA Prepper food video. Like how much food I have, or how to cook food, or how to process food, or what I think about food. I used to do food videos. You might remember I made some horrific creations with food. It was terrible, terrible stuff. I mean, a can of blueberries into a can of something else, and cheesesteaks. What's up, PDE? No, we have some pretty decent food trucks, and the cheesesteak food truck is pretty solid. I think I got a mushroom cheesesteak last time, and man, it was good. I ate it so fast. I don't know what you're talking about, Billy. I like cheesesteaks. I like cheesesteaks, Billy. Okay, don't be saying crazy stuff like that. But anyways, until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and keep prepping.